a heart to protect the ones he ruled. A god so mighty his foes looked fools. A ruler so disconnected from the ones he governed. Mistook he did fear and obedience for love and affection. The heart that yearned to protect the weak was laid to waste by the ones he saved. Ladies and gentlemen, join me today as we witness the story of a god that dared pray. He wished for peace but was pushed to demise by those who sought a bluer sky. From times long forgotten, predating the war of the greats, lived the king of Gales and the ones he led. His subjects were human, but he was not. Their thoughts and feelings were beyond his grasp. Yet content he felt to know his people were safe. Suddenly one day, after war had broken out, the king of North Wind would declare war on this god. Using the power bestowed upon him by a god of the past, the dominator of wolves would transform the land into a cavern of broken glass. Wiped out were the days of lush green trees, as the ground stood barren, white as far as the eye can see. The target of hatred the god of storms may have been, yet the ones to suffer were the mortals forever. To protect his people from the touch of frozen death, erected he did a barrier of stone. The barrier so strong the wolf stared in stupor, as no matter how much he struggled, the barrier would not suffer. But oh, how sad were the events that would pass. Closer came the days that would be the kingdom's last. The king thought his rule was honest and upright, but the ones he saved grew discontent of his might. The barrier's strength kept the wolves at bay, but so did it trap his people all day. As time would pass, many would pray for days of freedom where blue skies ruled the day. Ignorant were these mortals to the dreams they held. They sought bluer skies, forgetting the blizzard of death outside. As ambition grew and the people forgot, they chose to sacrifice the god they once loved. It was he who kept them safe and alive, yet it was also he who kept them inside. The coalition of forces that waged war against their god came both from inside and outside alike. The ones whose veins carried the blood of Gunhilda were once known to serve the Lord of the Tower, yet disillusioned by his rule which left his people suffocated, they left his domain to wander the lands of days forgotten. The move was not wise as the clan almost perished, but lo and behold, they met a spirit of tender heart. Weak and insignificant this spirit he was, but their meeting was fated as they helped each other last. The Gunhildr clan, on the verge of death, prayed for a god to save their last breath. The power of faith that was born of this let the weak little spirit harness powers beyond reach. Using the power he harnessed from them, the spirit would venture within the Lord's domain. There he would meet a nameless bard who dared to dream of freedom and song. A bard, a spirit, a huntress and knight. These four would dance for the freedom of light. Together they would form a coalition of might. Little was known of the knight who once fought. As for the huntress that once was in love with her god, she awoke from her love as her heart grew dark. Long had she realized their love would not last, For the god of the tower knew not the human heart. Hurt and awakened, she locked her bow to fight for a reason beyond petty treason. For the people she cherished, she pulled back her bow and fired her arrow at the one she once loved. Rejoice, said many, after a day hard fought, for the tyrant of many was a thing of the past. Not all was of joy, for the prize was not light. For what can one gain without a matching price? To seal a god's demise, a price sky high. The bard and the huntress that led the dance for freedom would trip on their journey and forego their legion. Their legacy lives on, never to be forgotten, for the ones they fought for would remember their story. The bard and the spirit that grew ever so close would be parted this day, for the end was in sight. The fall of the king left the throne bare empty. Qualified to rule were the spirit and wolf. The wolf stepped back as he deemed him unfit to love humanity enough to see through their story. The spirit of Yo would sit back and watch on as the priest of Gunhilda crowned him god. Rejoice would the people for their freedom hard fought, but ignorant were they to the truth at heart. The god of storms, the lord of the tower, a god of might such, his foes look asunder. Yet riddle me this, dear traveller, how a mere bard, huntress, knight, and newly empowered spirit would bring down this god of might untold. The truth be unknown to even those that fought, but if you fancy a story that could explain it all, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it all. Until that day comes, whenever it may, I'll see you guys later someday.